Welcome to Cricket Centre. Very interesting times in Indian cricket. For a long time, India has been considered to be very poor tourists, which means going abroad, they're expected to lose and lose very badly. It's because the bowling, we all felt at every point in time when the Indian team goes abroad, they can't bowl sides out twice. But things are very different this time around. It's just not the bowling alone. They have been pressurizing the opposition with some extraordinary batsmanship. At the top, we must say Murli Vijay has added significant value to the Indian batting order because not only is he tiring the fast bowlers, he's played very long innings, and the kind of exemplary temperament that he has shown is clearly evident with the statistics that we are going to provide. Take a look at the number of deliveries he has faced and also the number of dot balls. So the significant percentage of runs being scored has been in boundaries. So he's been a boundary player. And obviously, the number of leaves outside off stump also shows that he's got wonderful character to leaving deliveries outside off stump, and must add the fact that the English bowlers have been thinking that the Indians will always nibble something outside the off stump. Just bowling outside off stump is not enough because you have to seam the ball. The England bowlers have just forgotten that fact. You've got to keep the ball on the stumps and then take it laterally away. Well, too much being said about English bowlers. We must say that the Indian batsmen have done extraordinarily well. Vijay has a very simple technique. He doesn't have a very big stride forward, but what he does well, he plays the ball very close to the body, which also goes to show that he's able to leave deliveries outside off stump because he doesn't lunge forward enough. And anything pitched further up, he's willing to hit through the line. Anything short and fraction wide, and the English bowlers have given him that kind of width because they've been bowling wide outside off stump to him. And as you can see, some of them way outside off stump, which he didn't have to bother. So runs being scored, square of the wicket, he's been very good with the boundary percentage. And also, Murli Vijay has picked up runs on the onside, an area which has always been a bit of a concern because he has a tendency to play across the line. Just talking too much about Murli Vijay, but he's extended that good form into the second test match, and in the historic win, scoring 95. He spent a lot of time in the second innings, and that, must say, has given the chance for Nishant Sharma to come strongly into the fourth innings. What a win that has been. Taking that 100 from Rahane, wow, pleasing player. He may not have scored too many runs in the first test match, but then going into the second test match, he felt the green top was much like the Wankhede Stadium. The Wankhede Stadium usually provides that kind of juicy pitch first day or the second day morning. It does so much for a fast bowler. And Rahane just showed that character. He could go closer to the ball, and if it was pitch short, he was willing to take it and hook it. And Rahane is typically from the Mumbai school. It's just that he also is willing to play daring shots. Now, you might say that at Lord's, it has to be a Mumbaiker who will come forward and score 100. Who can forget Dilip Vengsarkar? And who else? Well, the fact is, Rahane has joined that list of run scorers at Lord's. And Vijay, as we mentioned earlier, has got terrific shots around the wicket, but mostly prefers to play square. And Rahane, on the other side, he also has a terrific straight drive. And I must say, the standout shot against Anderson, straight over the field, and it went clearing the side screen. So runs all around for Rahane, and for Murli Vijay, touch different. So it's becoming difficult for the English bowlers to adjust their line, and they've been typically English bowlers looking to bowl fraction outside the off stump and hoping the batsman will make mistakes. On the contrary, Indian bowlers have been different because they're so used to bowling on subcontinent wickets that they have to get a batsman out leg before or bowled, which means you're going to be that much more on the stumps. A clear indication when you look at the way Joe Root has played. He's just at everything. He had to earn his runs at every point in time. There's no doubting the fact there are some very good young cricketers coming out into the England team. Joe Root is one of them, and also Balance. These two obviously have a very long career ahead of them. And these are the centurions we've been talking about, and the way they have operated clearly shows that this series will be wonderful for them, because the way you start a series is important. And we might ask a question, what's happening to Virat Kohli? And what's happening to Shikhar Dhawan? Well, it's just a moment away from making one innings count. And Virat Kohli, hopefully, will make that come in the third test match, because it is going to be a vital test match for both teams. In this segment, I would like to talk about how the tailenders have flourished. Well, they've had a smile on their face. No matter if half the team has been wiped out, they've come in and made sure they've hung around and frustrated the bowlers. Both teams have suffered. The seamers haven't just been able to cut through. Well, in English conditions, you usually expect the lower order to crumble. But here's been a very different scenario altogether. We've seen men like Anderson coming at 11. Usually they're called Jack, but they're typically Jack of their own trade. With the ball, you might say Jimmy Anderson could be Jack of his trade. But with the bat, you don't expect him to flourish in a huge partnership and also create a world record. There have been 6 occasions where men have got their first half centuries batting lower down, and already just 2 test matches gone. But that's been the difference overall, and I think both teams will take a good hard look at how to operate against the lower order. I think one aspect of this, I must add, is they don't have good spinners. Jadeja looks to just drop the ball there, and on the other side, Moeen Ali just floats a few. But you must also say that they haven't been used often enough against tailenders, and seamers have definitely been ineffective against the tailenders. Moving on, I must say, drop catches have also added to their ooze. Well, obviously, one big area for England concern has been Matt Pryor. He's out of the team now, he's been dropped, but before he did, he's dropped quite a few men who have had that opportunity go their way. Murli Vijay for one, and Dhoni for the other. Murli Vijay will definitely be upset Matt Pryor has been dropped. And Dhoni has also put down catches behind the stumps, and these have changed things around, and men who have been dropped have gone on to score hundreds or very important runs for the team. Ishant Sharma, 7, and a brilliant spell of bowling. He just kept the ball up a few times, but when it really required for him to rattle batsmen, he decided with the old ball he would dig it short. Because India were reaching that stage of the game where if England were to play one more session, they would have won it at Lord's. Moeen Ali falling just moments before lunch just changed things around, and Ishant Sharma after that was an entirely different bowler, because he kept bowling short and he excited the batsmen. Few of them foolishly went after the bowling. 5 men fielding on the onside, 3 in the catching position deep, but still the English batsmen, test players I must add, well, you don't expect that to happen. They kept finding the fielders, and things just crumbled for England at Lord's. They could easily have made a difference. All they had to do was think, maybe we play a lot of T20 cricket, only 4 fielders on the offside, the lone slip, always an opportunity to drag yourself away, either leave the ball or crack it on the offside for runs. They weren't thinking at all, and that's a big reason why the Lord's test match went India's way. Good thinking for India, and also the strategy working. Going back, what is to be expected at Rose Bowl, Southampton? India will be looking to push hard. Obviously, with Dhoni, you can't expect any changes. When a team wins, he's not going to introduce anyone at all. He would still continue with Binny, because they're expecting conditions to be a bit more friendly for the seamer. They're expecting bounce. They keep saying probably it would spin on the last day, but he still has used Murli Vijay, so where is the need to get an Ashwin in? That's the way Dhoni would think. For England, their problems are plenty. What are the changes would they want to make? If they make too many changes, it would further make them a weaker unit. One thing with England here, they look highly demoralized. That's one area they need to pull up. And for them, Cook needs to start clicking with the bat. And Cook definitely has struggled because of his batting. His captaincy has also suffered. Before we leave, I want to say we're not bothered about how Cook is going to perform, but one man has made it all his own. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, the young man from Meerut, the way he stood out, and in the company, exalted company of Sir Ian Botham and Sir Richard Hadley, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar out there has a lot to look forward to. 3 more test matches coming. England, watch out.